Have you ever felt the sting of being undervalued or overlooked by someone you once held dear? It's a painful experience that can leave you questioning your worth and the relationships you cherish. The truth is, when someone no longer values you, it can feel like a personal failure. But what if I told you that there's a simple trick rooted in the principles of Stoicism that can transform this experience into an opportunity for growth and empowerment? Imagine reclaiming your sense of self-worth and finding peace, regardless of how others perceive you. Stoicism teaches us that our value is not determined by external validation, but by our internal character and resilience. When faced with the disappointment of being undervalued, the Stoic approach encourages us to shift our focus inward. Instead of seeking approval from others, we can cultivate a sense of self-worth that is independent of external opinions. This mindset not only shields us from the emotional turmoil of rejection, but also empowers us to take control of our own narrative. By practicing this simple trick, embracing the Stoic principle of focusing on what we can control, you can watch as your perspective shifts dramatically. Imagine standing firm in your values and principles while the world around you may not recognize them. This doesn't mean you become indifferent or apathetic. Rather, it means you acknowledge that your worth is intrinsic and not reliant on others' recognition. By applying this Stoic wisdom, you can start to see the situation for what it truly is, a reflection of others' perceptions, not a measure of your value. This realization can be liberating, allowing you to detach from the need for validation and instead invest in your own growth and self-acceptance. Moreover, embracing this Stoic mindset can lead to profound emotional benefits. When you stop seeking validation from those who no longer value you, you free yourself from the chains of disappointment and resentment. Instead, you can channel your energy into nurturing relationships that uplift and support you, fostering connections based on mutual respect and appreciation. The urgency to reclaim your emotional well-being cannot be overstated. The longer you linger in the shadows of undervaluation, the more you risk losing sight of your true self. By taking this step, you not only protect your mental health, but also open the door to more fulfilling interactions and experiences. In a world where external opinions often dictate our self-worth, the Stoic approach offers a refreshing perspective that can lead to lasting change. You have the power to redefine your value and cultivate a life that resonates with your true self. So the next time you feel overlooked or undervalued, remember this simple trick. Turn inward, embrace your intrinsic worth, and watch as your life transforms. The journey to self-empowerment starts with you, and it's time to take that first step toward a more resilient and fulfilling existence. In a world where relationships and social dynamics are constantly shifting, the feeling of being undervalued can be disheartening. Many individuals experience moments where they sense a lack of appreciation from friends, family, or colleagues. This can lead to feelings of frustration, sadness, or even anger. The challenge lies not only in recognizing when someone no longer values you, but also in determining how to respond constructively. This is where the principles of Stoicism come into play, offering a framework for understanding our emotions and reactions in the face of such challenges. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that emphasizes rationality and self-control, teaches us that our perceptions shape our experiences. When someone dismisses or undervalues us, the initial emotional response can be overwhelming. However, Stoicism encourages us to examine our thoughts and feelings critically. Instead of reacting impulsively, we can pause and reflect on the situation. This perspective allows us to separate our self-worth from the opinions of others, ultimately leading to a more resilient mindset. For instance, consider a scenario where a colleague takes credit for your work. Rather than succumbing to feelings of inadequacy, a Stoic approach would involve recognizing that your value is not diminished by their actions. One of the foundational elements of Stoicism is the concept of focusing on what is within our control. This principle can be particularly empowering when dealing with feelings of being undervalued. We cannot control how others perceive us or their actions, but we can control our reactions and attitudes. By shifting our focus to our own values and principles, we can cultivate a sense of inner strength. For example, if a friend consistently neglects your efforts, instead of seeking their validation, consider redirecting your energy towards self-improvement or engaging with those who genuinely appreciate your contributions. This shift not only alleviates the burden of seeking external approval, but also fosters personal growth and fulfillment. Another key Stoic practice is the exercise of negative visualization, which involves contemplating the potential loss of something we value. While this may seem counterintuitive, it can be a powerful tool for appreciating what we have and preparing ourselves for the possibility of loss. When faced with feelings of being undervalued, envisioning a future where that person is no longer in your life can help you clarify your priorities and reinforce your self-worth. This practice can serve as a reminder that our happiness should not be contingent upon others' recognition. Instead, it encourages us to cultivate a sense of gratitude for the relationships that do uplift us. In summary, the challenge of feeling undervalued in our relationships is a common human experience that can lead to significant emotional turmoil. However, by applying Stoic principles, we can transform our approach to these situations, recognizing the limits of our control, practicing self-reflection, and employing techniques like negative visualization can empower us to respond with resilience and grace. As we navigate the complexities of human connections, embracing these Stoic strategies can help us maintain our self-worth and foster healthier relationships, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling life. If you found value in the insights shared about navigating relationships when someone no longer values you, consider subscribing or joining our community in the comments below. Your experiences and questions are essential. They enrich our dialogue and help others feel less alone. Your feedback is invaluable, so don't hesitate to share your thoughts. Together, we can foster a supportive space for continued learning and growth. Let's keep the conversation going. When someone no longer values you, it can feel disheartening and lead to a spiral of negative emotions. However, applying principles of Stoicism can provide clarity and a constructive path forward. Stoicism teaches us that our responses to external events are within our control, even if the events themselves are not. Recognizing that you cannot change how others perceive you allows you to focus on your own values and actions. This mindset shift is the first step in regaining your sense of self-worth and agency. One practical step is to practice emotional detachment from the opinions of others. Imagine a scenario where a colleague dismisses your contributions during a team meeting. Instead of internalizing their lack of appreciation, consider the Stoic idea that your worth is not determined by others' recognition. Reflect on your skills and the value you bring to the team. By acknowledging your strengths and contributions, you cultivate self-respect that isn't reliant on external validation. This doesn't mean you ignore feedback. Rather, you learn to discern constructive criticism from mere disregard, allowing you to grow without being diminished by others' perceptions. Another effective technique is to engage in self-reflection and journaling. When feelings of undervaluation arise, take time to write down your thoughts and feelings. For instance, if a friend seems to overlook your efforts in planning a gathering, jot down how this makes you feel and why it matters to you. This process helps clarify your emotions and can reveal patterns in your relationships. You may find that the friend is going through their own struggles, and their behavior is not a reflection of your worth. By understanding the context, you can respond with empathy rather than resentment, fostering healthier interactions. Additionally, practicing gratitude can shift your focus from what you lack to what you have. When someone no longer values you, it's easy to dwell on the loss. Instead, make a list of people and experiences that bring you joy and fulfillment. Perhaps a mentor who appreciates your efforts or a hobby that ignites your passion. By recognizing the positive aspects of your life, you reinforce your sense of belonging and value. This gratitude practice can serve as a reminder that your worth is multifaceted and not solely dependent on one person's opinion. Finally, consider the concept of impermanence. Stoicism teaches that everything is transient, including relationships. The realization that people may come and go can provide solace and perspective. For example, if a romantic partner no longer values you, it may be an opportunity to reflect on what you truly seek in a relationship. This awareness can empower you to seek connections that align more closely with your values. Embracing change rather than resisting it opens the door to new possibilities and growth. In summary, when faced with the challenge of feeling undervalued, Stoicism offers practical strategies to regain your sense of self-worth. By focusing on emotional detachment, engaging in self-reflection, practicing gratitude and embracing impermanence, you can navigate these difficult emotions with resilience. Ultimately, the power to define your worth lies within you, allowing you to cultivate a life rich in meaning and fulfillment, regardless of others' perceptions. Understanding the dynamics of value and self-worth in relationships has never been more urgent, especially in a world increasingly characterized by rapid social change and digital interactions. As people navigate through the complexities of both personal and professional relationships, the feeling of being undervalued or overlooked is becoming alarmingly common. This phenomenon is exacerbated by the rise of social media, where validation is often sought through likes and comments, leading individuals to equate their self-worth with external approval. When someone no longer values you, it can trigger a crisis of identity and self-esteem, making it essential to address this issue promptly and effectively. The contemporary landscape is marked by a growing trend of emotional disconnection. Many individuals find themselves in relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or professional, that lack mutual appreciation. The challenge lies in recognizing that the loss of value is often not a reflection of one's worth, but rather a shift in the dynamics of that relationship. In this context, Stoicism offers practical strategies to cope with feelings of undervaluation. By focusing on what is within our control, our reactions and perceptions, we can mitigate the emotional turmoil that arises when others fail to recognize our contributions. This approach is particularly relevant now, as many are grappling with the fallout of strained relationships during times of uncertainty. A key problem in today's society is the pervasive misunderstanding of self-worth. Many individuals struggle to detach their value from the opinions of others, leading to a cycle of seeking validation that can leave them feeling empty. The challenge is to cultivate an inner sense of worth that does not waver based on external recognition. The Stoic practice of reframing our thoughts can serve as a powerful tool in this regard. When faced with the realization that someone no longer values us, instead of spiraling into self-doubt, we can choose to reflect on our intrinsic qualities and the virtues we embody. This shift in perspective allows for personal growth and resilience, enabling us to navigate the complexities of human relationships with greater ease. Moreover, the pressing need to build emotional resilience is underscored by the current societal climate, where mental health issues are on the rise. The ability to cope with feelings of rejection and undervaluation is crucial for maintaining psychological well-being. By learning to apply Stoic principles, individuals can develop a robust framework for handling emotional challenges. This is not merely an academic exercise, but a vital skill set that can lead to healthier relationships and a more fulfilling life. The urgency of this knowledge is amplified by the ongoing societal shifts that demand adaptability and emotional intelligence. In summary, understanding how to respond when someone no longer values you is critical in today's rapidly changing environment. The challenge of maintaining self-worth amidst external fluctuations is a common struggle that can lead to significant emotional distress. By embracing Stoic principles, individuals can cultivate resilience and a deeper understanding of their intrinsic value, equipping them to face the complexities of modern relationships with confidence. This knowledge is not just beneficial, it is essential for navigating the emotional landscape of contemporary life, making it imperative to engage with these ideas now. When someone no longer values you, it can feel disheartening and lead to a sense of loss or frustration. However, Stoicism offers a powerful framework to navigate these emotions and regain a sense of control. At its core, Stoicism teaches that our responses to external events, rather than the events themselves, determine our emotional state. This principle can be applied effectively when faced with feelings of devaluation. First, recognize that the opinions of others are outside your control. Stoic philosophy emphasizes the importance of distinguishing between what we can and cannot control. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher, famously stated, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. When someone no longer values you, acknowledge that their perception is their own and does not define your worth. This shift in perspective can alleviate feelings of inadequacy and empower you to focus on self-acceptance. Next, practice the concept of amor fati, or love of fate. This Stoic idea encourages embracing all aspects of life, including challenges and setbacks. Instead of resisting the situation or feeling bitter about it, view it as an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? By reframing the narrative, you transform a painful moment into a catalyst for self-improvement. For instance, if a colleague undervalues your contributions, reflect on how you can enhance your skills or seek feedback to foster personal development. Another key Stoic practice is to engage in negative visualization. This involves contemplating the worst-case scenario to appreciate what you currently have. Imagine losing not only the relationship, but also other valued aspects of your life. This exercise can create a sense of gratitude and help you realize that your worth is not solely tied to the opinions of others. By recognizing the impermanence of relationships, you can cultivate resilience and a deeper appreciation for those who do value you. Additionally, cultivate self-compassion. Stoicism does not advocate for harsh self-criticism. Rather, it promotes understanding and patience with oneself. When faced with feelings of being undervalued, remind yourself that everyone experiences rejection and disappointment. Instead of internalizing negativity, treat yourself with kindness. Engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, reinforcing your intrinsic value. This self-care can help counteract feelings of worthlessness and foster a more positive self-image. Incorporating the practice of gratitude can also be transformative. Regularly reflecting on what you appreciate in your life can shift your focus away from the negativity of feeling undervalued. Create a gratitude journal where you list things you are thankful for, including supportive relationships, personal achievements, or even simple pleasures. This habit can enhance your overall mindset and help you recognize that your value is multifaceted and not solely dependent on others' opinions. Finally, consider the role of community and connection. Stoicism teaches that human relationships are vital for personal growth. Engage with those who uplift and support you, creating a network of individuals who recognize your worth. Surrounding yourself with positive influences can reinforce your self-esteem and provide a counterbalance to negative experiences. Seek out opportunities for collaboration and connection, whether through professional networks or personal friendships, to foster a sense of belonging and appreciation. By applying these Stoic principles, you can navigate the emotional landscape of feeling undervalued with grace and resilience. Embrace the knowledge that your worth is inherent and focus on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and responses. In doing so, you empower yourself to rise above the opinions of others and cultivate a life rich in purpose and fulfillment. When someone no longer values you, it can be a painful experience that shakes your self-esteem and sense of belonging. In such moments, applying the principles of Stoicism can offer practical strategies to regain your composure and perspective. One key tenet of Stoicism is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. By focusing on your own reactions and responses rather than the actions or opinions of others, you can cultivate resilience and inner peace. For instance, imagine a scenario where a colleague at work suddenly becomes dismissive of your contributions. Instead of reacting defensively or seeking validation from them, reflect on what you can control. You might choose to assess your work objectively, seeking feedback from other colleagues or supervisors who appreciate your efforts. This approach not only helps you maintain your self-worth, but also encourages a growth mindset, allowing you to improve and adapt based on constructive criticism rather than external validation. Another practical application of Stoicism in this context is the practice of negative visualization. This involves contemplating the loss of something you value, which can help you appreciate it more deeply. For example, if a friend seems to be drifting away, take a moment to visualize your life without that friendship. This exercise can help you recognize the value of the relationship while also preparing you emotionally for the possibility of its decline. By accepting the impermanence of relationships, you can lessen the sting of feeling undervalued and instead focus on nurturing connections that bring you joy. Moreover, Stoicism encourages the practice of gratitude. When faced with feelings of being undervalued, make a conscious effort to list the aspects of your life for which you are thankful. This could include supportive friends, fulfilling hobbies, or personal achievements. By shifting your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant, you can foster a more positive mindset. For instance, if you feel overlooked at work, remind yourself of the skills and experiences that have contributed to your professional growth. This shift in perspective can empower you to seek new opportunities rather than dwell on perceived slights. A common challenge in applying Stoic principles is the tendency to ruminate on negative experiences. To counter this, consider implementing a daily reflection practice. Set aside time each day to journal about your experiences, focusing on your reactions and what you learned from them. This practice not only helps you process your emotions, but also reinforces the Stoic idea that your thoughts shape your reality. For example, if you find yourself fixating on a colleague's dismissive behavior, writing about it can help you identify patterns in your thinking and develop healthier responses. Additionally, cultivating a sense of community can be a powerful antidote to feelings of being undervalued. Engage with like-minded individuals who share your values and interests. This could involve joining a local club or participating in online forums. By surrounding yourself with supportive people, you can reinforce your self-worth and gain valuable perspectives that remind you of your contributions. This aligns with the Stoic belief that we are interconnected and that our relationships can enhance our resilience. Ultimately, when faced with the reality of being undervalued, the Stoic approach emphasizes self-reflection, gratitude, and community support. By focusing on what you can control and practicing acceptance, you can navigate challenging interpersonal dynamics with grace. Embracing these strategies not only helps you maintain your sense of self-worth, but also empowers you to foster deeper, more meaningful connections in your life. When someone no longer values you, the instinctive reaction might be to seek validation or approval from that person. However, a more Stoic approach encourages a shift in focus away from external validation towards internal resilience and self-worth. Central to Stoicism is the idea that our perceptions shape our reality. By reframing how we view our value, we can transform our emotional response to being undervalued. This begins with the practice of negative visualization, a technique where one imagines losing what they currently have. By contemplating the absence of relationships or recognition, we can cultivate gratitude for what we do possess. This practice not only diminishes the sting of feeling unvalued, but also reinforces our understanding that our worth is not contingent upon others' opinions. Consider the case of Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor who faced immense challenges, including betrayal and disrespect from those he trusted. Instead of succumbing to despair or retaliation, he reflected on the impermanence of others' opinions. He wrote in his meditations that the judgments of others are beyond our control and thus should not dictate our self-perception. By focusing on his own values and principles, he maintained his integrity and purpose, ultimately emerging stronger. This approach is echoed in modern psychological practices, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which emphasizes reframing negative thoughts and reinforcing self-worth through personal values. By applying these Stoic principles, individuals can cultivate a sense of autonomy and resilience, leading to a more profound understanding of their intrinsic value, independent of external validation. As we build towards a resolution, it is essential to recognize that the journey towards self-affirmation is often gradual and requires conscious effort. The pivotal moment comes when one realizes that the act of seeking validation from those who do not value them only perpetuates a cycle of dependency and emotional turmoil. Instead, embracing the Stoic tenet of focusing on what is within our control allows for a transformative shift. For instance, individuals who practice self-reflection and engage in activities aligned with their core values often report a significant increase in self-esteem and emotional well-being. This is supported by research indicating that self-affirmation can reduce stress and improve overall mental health. Ultimately, when faced with undervaluation, the simple trick lies in redirecting attention from external validation to internal affirmation. By embodying Stoic principles, individuals can cultivate a resilient mindset that transcends others' perceptions. This process not only fosters personal growth, but also enhances relationships with those who genuinely appreciate one's worth. The climax of this journey is the realization that one's value is innate and unshakable, leading to healthier interactions and a more fulfilling life. This transformation is not merely a reaction to being undervalued, but a proactive stance that empowers individuals to define their worth on their own terms, illustrating the profound impact of Stoicism in navigating complex emotional landscapes. Understanding the dynamics of personal value and relationships can significantly benefit from the principles of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches individuals to focus on what is within their control and to accept what is not. When someone no longer values you, applying Stoic principles can serve as a powerful strategy to navigate emotional turmoil. This approach emphasizes emotional resilience and self-reflection, allowing individuals to maintain their dignity and sense of self-worth regardless of external validation. Research in psychology supports the Stoic notion of focusing on internal rather than external validation. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who derive self-worth from internal sources, such as personal achievements and values, experience greater emotional stability. In contrast, those who rely heavily on external validation are more vulnerable to feelings of inadequacy when faced with rejection or devaluation. This aligns with Stoic teachings, which advocate for self-sufficiency and the importance of personal virtue over societal approval. Real-world implications of this understanding can be illustrated through anecdotal evidence. Consider the case of a professional who was overlooked for a promotion. Instead of succumbing to feelings of inadequacy, this individual chose to reflect on their skills and contributions, seeking feedback to grow rather than wallowing in perceived rejection. By applying Stoic principles, they redirected their energy towards self-improvement and eventually secured a better opportunity elsewhere. This experience highlights how focusing on personal growth can transform a potentially negative situation into a catalyst for positive change. Moreover, statistics reveal that emotional resilience is linked to better mental health outcomes. According to the American Psychological Association, individuals who practice mindfulness and emotional regulation, concepts deeply rooted in Stoicism, report lower levels of anxiety and depression. This underscores the importance of cultivating a Stoic mindset, particularly when faced with interpersonal challenges. By learning to detach from the opinions of others, individuals can foster a more stable emotional state, which is crucial for overall well-being. In the context of relationships, applying Stoicism can lead to healthier dynamics. For instance, when someone feels undervalued, instead of reacting with anger or desperation, they can practice acceptance and introspection. This approach not only preserves their self-respect, but can also lead to more constructive conversations about the relationship. By expressing their feelings calmly and assertively, individuals can create an environment conducive to mutual understanding and respect, potentially rekindling the value they once held in the relationship. Another compelling aspect of Stoicism is its emphasis on the impermanence of external circumstances. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius famously stated, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This perspective encourages individuals to recognize that the ebb and flow of relationships are natural, and that their worth is not contingent upon others' perceptions. By embracing this mindset, individuals can navigate the complexities of human interactions with grace and composure. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to dealing with feelings of being undervalued offers a pathway to personal empowerment. By focusing on internal validation, practicing emotional resilience, and maintaining a growth-oriented mindset, individuals can transform their experiences and emerge stronger. This not only fosters personal growth, but also enhances the quality of relationships, leading to more meaningful and fulfilling connections with others. Understanding and applying these principles can make a profound difference in how one navigates the challenges of interpersonal dynamics in everyday life. When someone no longer values you, it can feel disheartening and confusing. However, a simple trick inspired by Stoic philosophy can help you navigate these feelings. Shift your focus from external validation to internal resilience. Stoicism teaches us that our worth is not determined by others, but by how we respond to life's challenges. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic philosopher, emphasized the importance of self-reflection and understanding that the opinions of others are beyond our control. By recognizing that we cannot change how others perceive us, we can reclaim our power and direct our energy towards self-improvement. One actionable insight here is to practice gratitude for your own qualities and achievements. When you feel undervalued, take a moment to list 3 things you appreciate about yourself. This exercise not only boosts your self-esteem, but also aligns with the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control. According to a study published in the Journal of Happiness Studies, individuals who regularly practice gratitude report higher levels of well-being and satisfaction. By cultivating a mindset of gratitude, you can counteract feelings of inadequacy and reinforce your self-worth, regardless of others' opinions. Another effective strategy is to engage in self-reflection. Ask yourself why the opinions of others hold so much weight in your life. Often we internalize societal standards or past experiences that shape our self-image. Taking a step back to analyze these influences can be liberating. Seneca, another key figure in Stoicism, advised that we should not let external circumstances dictate our happiness. By understanding the source of your feelings, you can create a more balanced perspective. This process may involve journaling or discussing your thoughts with a trusted friend, allowing you to articulate your feelings and gain clarity. Lastly, consider the importance of setting boundaries. When someone consistently undervalues you, it may be time to reassess the relationship. Stoicism encourages us to surround ourselves with individuals who uplift and inspire us. This doesn't mean cutting people off entirely, but rather establishing limits on how much emotional energy you invest in those who don't reciprocate. A study from the University of California found that having supportive relationships is crucial for mental health. By prioritizing connections that nurture your self-worth, you create a healthier environment for personal growth. In conclusion, when faced with feelings of being undervalued, remember that you have the power to change your perspective. Embrace gratitude, engage in self-reflection, and set boundaries to protect your emotional well-being. These actionable insights, rooted in Stoic philosophy, not only help you navigate challenging relationships, but also foster a deeper understanding of your intrinsic value. By focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and responses, you can cultivate resilience and find fulfillment, regardless of how others perceive you. Ultimately, the journey towards self-acceptance and empowerment is a personal one, and it begins with recognizing your worth from within. When someone no longer values you, it can be a disheartening experience, but it opens up an opportunity for personal growth and resilience. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that our perception of events, rather than the events themselves, shapes our emotional responses. By reframing how we view this situation, we can take control of our feelings and actions. Instead of seeking validation from others, focus on self-worth rooted in your own values and principles. This shift in perspective not only liberates you from the need for external approval, but also empowers you to cultivate a more profound sense of inner strength. To implement these insights effectively, start by practicing self-reflection. Take time to identify what truly matters to you and what values you hold dear. Write them down and revisit them regularly to reinforce your sense of self. When faced with feelings of being undervalued, remind yourself of these core values and how they define your worth. This practice not only helps in managing emotional responses, but also fosters a mindset that is less dependent on external validation. Additionally, consider engaging in mindfulness exercises to enhance your emotional resilience. Techniques such as meditation or journaling can help you process your feelings and maintain a balanced perspective. Another actionable step is to cultivate gratitude. Focus on the relationships and experiences that uplift you rather than dwelling on those that bring you down. A daily gratitude practice can shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, allowing you to appreciate the value you bring to your life and the lives of others. This positive outlook is a cornerstone of Stoicism, encouraging you to find joy and fulfillment irrespective of external circumstances. By fostering gratitude, you not only enhance your emotional well-being, but also attract more positive relationships into your life. Finally, take proactive steps to build a supportive network. Surround yourself with individuals who appreciate and uplift you, as this can significantly influence your self-perception. Engage in communities or groups that align with your values and interests, fostering connections that reinforce your sense of belonging. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control how others perceive us, we can control how we respond and who we choose to surround ourselves with. By actively seeking out positive influences, you create an environment that nurtures your growth and strengthens your resilience. In conclusion, the insights gained from understanding how to navigate feelings of being undervalued can be transformative when viewed through the lens of Stoicism. By focusing on self-reflection, gratitude, and building a supportive network, you empower yourself to rise above external judgments and cultivate a deep sense of self-worth. Embrace these practices and watch how your perspective shifts, leading to a more fulfilling life. Now is the time to take action. Start your journey toward emotional resilience today. Engage with others who share your values, practice gratitude, and commit to self-reflection. Your path to personal empowerment begins now. Seize it. When someone no longer values you, it can feel disheartening, yet it presents an opportunity to reflect on the Stoic principle of focusing on what is within our control. Stoicism teaches us that external validation is fleeting and often unreliable. Instead of seeking approval from others, we can turn inward and cultivate our self-worth based on our values and actions. This shift in perspective allows us to disengage from the emotional turmoil that arises when others fail to recognize our worth. By practicing acceptance and understanding that we cannot control others' perceptions, we empower ourselves to respond with grace rather than resentment. As we navigate relationships and the inevitable ebb and flow of their significance, it is crucial to remember that our value does not diminish based on another's opinion. Embracing the Stoic mindset encourages us to focus on our own responses and growth. When faced with rejection or indifference, we can choose to reflect on what we can learn from the experience. This practice not only fosters resilience, but also deepens our understanding of ourselves. By prioritizing our own principles and striving for personal excellence, we create a foundation of self-respect that remains unshaken by external opinions. In the grand tapestry of life, the threads of our experiences are woven together by our choices and attitudes. Each moment of adversity can be transformed into a stepping stone for growth. So, when faced with the challenge of feeling undervalued, remember that the power lies within you. Embrace the journey of self-discovery and resilience. The world may not always see your worth, but by cultivating a profound sense of self, you become an unwavering beacon of strength. In the words of the Stoics, the obstacle is the way. Let this principle guide you, and you will find that even in the face of indifference, your spirit can shine brighter than ever.